What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of EVE Online, and we're back on the main character. Chilling here in our station, Larry, and our giant space surfboard. Catching some space waves. The reason I'm making this video, this is not part of the challenge or the series or anything like that. This is more of a public service announcement to my corporation. I want to let you guys know what's going on. Basically, we have been Wardec'ed by, I guess, some folks who have just either liked stomping newbies or most likely saw my video or one of my videos and either didn't like my video, didn't like me, or just want some easy kills or what they think is going to be easy kills. This is the name of the corporation. This is their contacts and who to, what to look for, et cetera, et cetera. And you can see their corporations here. All in all, in all of these corporations, and I don't know how many of them are active, but in all of these corporations, they have about, I think it's 58 members. So it's about a 60-member corporation. Now, it is Wednesday. Well, yeah, it's Wednesday morning at 1:24 a.m., which is pretty late. But this war goes live at 13:55 Eve time. It's currently 7:30 in the morning Eve time. So that's in, let's see, 3, 4, 5 hours plus 6. I think it's like 6.5 hours, roughly. Which will be, I don't know when this video goes. This is what video is going to go up tomorrow morning, so it'll probably be active by the time this video goes up. So what does this mean? Well, first off, these guys had to pay $50 million to Wardec'ed us. Once the Wardec'ed goes through, and these dudes offered to help us. I have no idea who these guys are. They offered to help us for no ISK. I did try to accept their offer, but they're already at war with these guys. So these dudes are apparently already fighting. These guys are, let's see, I don't know how big these dudes are. We can click on their members and we can see, let's see, these guys have 6 members. Whoops. Let's see, these guys have 7 members and these guys have 6 members. So we're looking at about 18 people, 19 people. So we got 19 people fighting 60 people. Now, granted, that's just what their corp numbers show. Out of all those people, there might only be 10 active in the 60-member corp. And out of the 19, they could have all 19 active. So we don't know. I have no idea who these guys are. They have not tried to contact me in any way. They have not messaged me on either of my characters. So it doesn't look like they want a ransom. Like I said, I think honestly they just want to try and be dicks. So it happens. So what does this mean? This means as soon as the timer rolls around, so once this says 13:55 down here, they will be able to engage and shoot you anywhere. This includes Empire space. So you undock in Jeddah, they're outside, boom, you're dead. You're flying around Larry and they see you, boom, you're dead. Anywhere. Concord will not come save them. You are a free target. Now, keep in mind that right now, EVE is basically just, for me, a single player game. I get on, I chat with you guys, but we don't have an active corporation stuff set up right now. So there's no defenses set up at the moment. I don't have a log of PvP ships or any contacts or anything like that. So for all intents and purposes, you're on your own for this. So what does that mean? That means you do not need to undock, basically, for the next however long it takes these guys to get bored. It's one of the drawbacks of EVE is these guys can leave us Wardec'ed for as long as they want. And I think you can have, back in the day, you could have like 4 or 5 decks at a time. The Wardecking policies have changed drastically since the last time I played it. The more people we have in our corporation, the more expensive it is for them. So for instance, if we could increase our corporation numbers to up to around 300 people, it would cost them, I think, about $190 million a week, which most likely would not be enough. They're definitely not going to make that off of us. They're not going to make 50 million off of us. So, but then again, 50 million isn't really a whole lot to most people. That's basically not even one level 4 mission. So they may not care about the money. Looking at their kill boards, they seem to be, this seems to be what they do. So what do I recommend you doing? Well, you have a couple options. One, leave the corporation. I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm not going to be upset with you. I'm not going to hold a grudge in any way. I am informing you that is in your best interest. Hop out of the corp. It'll take you 24 hours if you have any roles. I don't think any of you have any roles, so you should be able to just leave. Leave, go back to your newbie corp. Once these guys get fucking bored, then you can join again. You're not going to miss out on anything. I'll make a public channel and you guys can join that and just chat, and you'll basically have the same thing. We don't have any assets at the moment. We're not doing any roams. We're not doing any mining operations, et cetera, et cetera. I will not be undocking during this war. Now, I do have a character that's, ass deep in a wormhole that has no high stack exits right now. I need to record that video for you guys, but they're not going to find me, at least not until I decide to leave that wormhole. They will find you. So there's a variety of ways they can find you. There's these things called locator agents, where if they know your name, and they may not, all they can see is my name. And if they know my YouTube channel, they know my alt's name. And then if you are in one of our space areas, so like if you've been to Jeddah or if you've been to Larry recently, most likely they have a character in one of or both of those areas. And what they're doing is they're adding anybody with the TDK tag to their watch list. And so they're acquiring your names right now while doing intel and getting as many of you as they possibly can. So then once they've got that, they'll go to a locator agent. They'll pay that agent to find out where your location is. They'll send probably a non-corporation character to that system, verify that you're there, look around, see if they can find you. If let's say you're out mining, they will go and find where you are cloaked. You won't know they're there. And then they're going to sit off of you at like 5 or 10, just outside of range where they're going to get uncloaked. Everybody will jump in system. If you're watching, you'll notice then they'll be warping to 0 and you can get your ass back to a station. Most likely what's happening is you're going to be watching Netflix or relaxing or not paying attention, and they're going to warp to you at 5K. And by the time you realize it, you're going to have 5, 10, 15, 25 people floating in space that are shooting you before you even realize. So, like I said, strongly recommend leave the corporation. If you don't want to leave the corporation, then I strongly recommend you sit right the fuck here and stare at your ship and spin it over and over again and just have fun spinning that ship. Alternatively, you can play an alt if you want. If you've got another alt, feel free to play that character. If you don't want to do that, then there's one other option. You can go and you can fly into wormhole space like I'm doing. Fit yourself a cheap as shit frigate like I've got and find yourself a wormhole and go 2 or 3 wormholes deep and they will never find you. Now, the problem you're going to run into there is the people in the wormhole might find you. So no matter what you do, you're going to have some problems. Now, it is perfectly fine for you to play in a Wardec'ed environment. You can do that. There are people, and I am capable of doing that. Unfortunately, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, and I'm not shit talking any of you guys, but a lot of you guys are new to EVE. That's the whole point of this series, is for me to kind of introduce you guys to EVE and teach you some stuff that I know, and while I learn, and then hopefully bring you guys up to speed. Unfortunately, most of you guys don't know how D-scan works. Most of you don't know about local. Most of you don't know about your overview and how to set it up right. Most of you aren't going to have any idea that these guys are even in system with you until you're blown the fuck up. So some of you will. Some of you will know some of that, and some of you might be perfectly capable of running level 4 missions and never have a problem. I just don't want you guys to get popped by these guys, because that's really what they want. They want to make our corp look bad. They want to pad their kill board numbers, get some internet erection points, as I like to call it, and just in general be griefing dickbags, which is part of the game. So, if you don't want to dock up, just play smart. I have added their corporation to let me open up local. I don't think any of them are in local. I've added their corporation to our hit list, so to speak. So they will show up with a little red marker here in local. So you can find that by, just scrolling down. The problem is, like, even right now in Larry, we have 40 people here in Larry. This is a dead-end system. A lot of that's this dude. He's some kind of macro miner. Well, he may not be a macro miner. He may just be a multi-boxer. But obviously, there's a big mining dude here that does mining. He's jacking the system up, and there's a few other guys who like to use the system for mining, just like we did. So keep in mind, with 40 plus people in the system, you got to be doing this periodically, just so you know that nobody's here. So if you're going to play, I'd recommend finding yourself a nice little quiet system with less than 5 or 6 people. That way local can stay on one menu and you don't have to go up in like this, and stay where you can, get to a station. Have your safe spots set. I've shown you guys how to do that in my videos. Set yourself some safe spots off grid. When you go, if you're mining, make sure you align to a station or your safe spot. What does aligning mean? Well, you pick the target on your little overview, and there's an align button. What it does is it points your ship there. Now, you don't have to get to speed, because by the time they get into system, you're going to be able to warp out most likely. But as long as you're aligned, your ship doesn't have to turn, and you just take off. If you're doing a mission, stay aligned and try and stay at speed. That way, if anybody lands on you, you're gone by a push of a button. So just play smart. But like I said, the safest option, because these guys could Wardeck us for the next 4 months if they want to. If they want to be big ass dick bags, especially if they're watching the channel, they're probably watching this video, and a couple of them are probably vigorously masturbating at the thought of you being upset. So like I said, don't undock. Leave the corp. You can leave the corp, still be part of the group. I'll make a public chat. You'll be able to talk with us. You'll be able to talk with me on YouTube, talk with me in Discord. You're not going to miss out on anything. Well, actually you are. You're going to miss out on getting vaporized by a bunch of fucking cockchuggers. So if you want to miss out on that highlight, then I strongly recommend it. But, at the end of the day, it's up to you. Just don't come crying to me when you get your shit blown up, because I warned you. I told you guys in Corp Chat I'm going to be sending out an Eve mail. I've made a video. I will have no sympathy. I will have no sympathy. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but, if you don't listen to me, it's kind of like, what was it? That old, and this is kind of religious, so some of you might not like it, but it's an old joke where, what is it? There's this flood's coming in. And they start evacuating this dude's town, and the police come by and they're like, hey, I don't know if you saw the flood evacuation warning, but, there's going to be a massive flood here. You need to leave. And he's like, no, I'm not going to leave. God's going to take care of me. And they're like, okay, well, we can't force you. So then the waters come in, and it starts to fill up, and he has to move to the second floor of his house because his whole bottom floor is flooded. And, a boat comes by, and they're like, dude, the waters are going to keep coming up, man. Let us take you out of here. Let's get you to safety. And he's like, nope, not going. God's going to take care of me. Water rises more, and he's now sitting on his fucking roof. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? And a helicopter comes by, and it's like, bro, the water's going to come. Let us save you. And he's like, nah, man, God's going to take care of me. So the water keeps rising, covers the dude's house. He ends up drowning. He gets up to heaven, and he's like, dude, God, what the fuck, bro? And God's like, you're an idiot. I sent a police officer, I sent a boat, and I sent a fucking helicopter for you, and you didn't listen. That's kind of the situation we're in right now. So, like I said, leave the corp. Most of you don't have any roles, so you can exit immediately. I'll put you back in as soon as the war ends. If you're going to stay in, do not undock, period, no matter how smart or safe you are. If you insist on undocking, please, for the love of God, play smart, look at local, know how to descan, have your safe spots set up. Do not try to fight these guys unless you know your shit, because they're not going to fight fair. You're going to see one dude in a little frigate. You're going to be like, I can take a frigate because I'm in my Uber Ishtar. It's going to be great. And then as soon as you lock him down, he's going to lock you back, and his 45 buddies are going to come through that gate, and they're going to shit all over you. So I've done my part. I have warned the Nubians. You can heed my sage advice or not. That is your choice. But I've given you a 15-minute verbal warning, so I'm not going to feel bad if you get blown up. So hopefully this war will end quickly. If you run a PvP corporation and you would like to help, if you are a PvPer and you would like to join my corp temporarily just so you can have some people to shoot, you are more than welcome to. Keep in mind, I do have it set up to where you're not allowed to shoot my own people without Concord blowing you up. So, don't think you can just join my corporation and shoot the people without doing a war deck, because, Concord's going to tell you to go fuck yourself. But yeah, anybody wanting to join is welcome to come help. If you want to offer your assistance free of charge, you're more than welcome to. I won't be paying any assistance bonuses because a lot of dickbags will war deck you with an alt corp that looks scary and then offer to come save you for a small, easy payment of $100 million a week. And we will take care of everything. Yeah, no thanks. I'm going to be sitting in a wormhole, kicking ass, taking names, making that money. And hopefully these guys will get bored. We'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching this PSA. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you did, slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next clip.